What defines an all-time legend? Is it statistical dominance? Is it individual accomplishments? Is it longevity? Or is it winning as many championships as possible? Everyone's criteria for assessing the greatness of players is different, but I would say for the most part, most people care the most about championships, and then it's some order of the other three like peak, longevity, accolades after that. Normally when you see all-time rankings, the two guys at the top are LeBron James and Michael Jordan. The main difference most people point out between LeBron and Jordan is LeBron's 4-6 finals record to Michael Jordan's perfect 6-0 finals record, and Jordan never played in a Game 7 in the finals. When you think of Michael Jordan in the finals, what do you think of? You probably think of all his iconic shots that he made. But when you think of LeBron's finals, what do you think of? You probably think of the two most iconic shots, maybe in the history of the NBA.
Ball go! Rebound Bosh! Back out to Allen! His three-pointer! Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining! Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
Without these iconic shots, LeBron's legacy would be changed forever. So, in today's video, what if these shots don't go in? Let's start off with Ray Allen's three. The Heat were down 3-2 in the series, and Ray Allen's clutch three ties up the game. So, what if this doesn't go in? Well, the Heat lose the series devastatingly. LeBron falls to 1-3 in the finals, and what is LeBron going to be remembered for in the playoffs up to this point? Maybe it's him carrying the 07 Cavs to the finals, just for him to get swept by the Spurs. Or maybe it's his meltdown against the Mavs in 2011, where he averaged 18 points per game. Yeah, he did beat the young and upcoming Thunder, but they were supposed to win that series. Then when they play San Antonio in 2013, he misses the clutch three that Bosh ends up rebounding. But if Allen's shot doesn't go in, people are going to remember that LeBron miss more than Ray Allen's miss. And then when you consider what happened in 2014, the Heat got dominated by the Spurs, losing the series in 5. So I really don't see a world where this loss in 2013 could even motivate the Heat to winning the series. So LeBron would fall to 1-4 in the finals. But it's not just LeBron's legacy that's hurt here. So let's go over the guys who are also hurt because of this shot not going in. Obviously everyone on the Heat's legacy is hurt. But let's talk about the others in the big three, Wade and Bosh. For Wade, it's not that big of a deal. His time with Miami is still a success. He wins 2 championships. Maybe this era is a little bit of a disappointment, but he's obviously still a Hall of Famer and a Heat legend. But for Bosh, it hurts a lot more. And it's mostly because I think this puts Bosh into more of a borderline Hall of Famer. Now that he only has the 1 championship, and he only plays to 31, which is terrible because of his blood clots and all those issues. So the question would end up becoming, does Bosh make the Hall of Fame? And he might not. He is an 11-time All-Star, which is huge. But I really think the 2 championships were a big part of why he made the Hall of Fame, because the big 3 Heat were this scary, amazing team. I just don't think they'll be remembered as that, because the Spurs of that era just would be remembered as the better team. And then for the guy who made the shot, Ray Allen, it's tough because he's still obviously a Hall of Famer. I don't think this shot changes that. But I think his legacy from modern fans' perspectives is definitely hurt. Because I think a lot of people remember him from this shot, which isn't entirely fair because he was amazing before the shot, obviously. But I think this is the moment a lot of people are going to remember when they think about Ray Allen's career. And now that this shot doesn't go in, what are they going to remember him for? Okay, so what about the guys whose legacies are improved here? Well, let's start with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's legacy, it definitely improves here because he's already a top 10 player in NBA history. Now his finals record goes to 6-0. Is he a top 5 player of all time? Maybe, with a finals MVP in 2013, which he clearly would have won. I really think this finals means a lot to Duncan's legacy, because being 6-0 in the finals isn't like the biggest difference from 5-1. It would give him the same finals record as Michael Jordan, and Duncan might go down as one of the greatest winners in NBA history. I also want to mention Kawhi Leonard, who also has a really good finals here, and especially in Game 6, where he puts up 22 points, which was his playoff career high up to that point, and then he also grabs 11 boards in Game 6. It would have been a really good start to his career. Alright, so now let's fast forward only 3 seasons to what I believe is the most important shot in LeBron's career.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We all remember this iconic shot, but how did we get here? The year is 2016, and the Warriors are in the middle of a historic season where they finish with the best regular season record in the NBA's history, led by unanimous MVP Steph Curry. We all know that, and we all know the story of what happens. The Warriors lead 3-1 in the series, and the Cavs climb all the way back into Game 7. Up until that point, no team has ever blown a 3-1 series in the finals. In the history of the NBA, a team with a 3-1 lead in the finals is 37-1, and this is the one. This loss wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Kyrie's shot. This comeback in the finals is LeBron's crowning achievement, and if it wasn't for Kyrie's clutch shot, no one will remember his iconic block on Andre Iguodala in this finals.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup, oh, blocked by James!
And I think LeBron's legacy would take a serious hit because he would never win the championship that he promised Cleveland.
Cleveland! This is for you!
So in this alternate universe, we only have to take back 2 shots in LeBron's career for him to fall to 2-8 in the finals. And that would be an absolute crushing blow to his case as being the greatest basketball player ever. His legacy would also be enhanced so much. He would be the leader of the greatest basketball team ever. With that being said, I really don't think he wins the finals MVP. I really can't see him winning it. I believe Draymond Green would have probably won it, and let's dive into the stats on why. Steph averages the most points on the Warriors in the series, but you look at the stats here, and they're just not typical Steph Curry numbers. As you see Draymond be the best in every statistic outside of free throw percentage on the Warriors in that finals, and he's also the best defender on the Warriors. That's important too here. I do really believe Draymond wins the finals MVP. There is a few knocks though. He does get suspended for Game 5, and then his scoring numbers were pretty up and down, as he scored in the single digits 3 of the 6 games he played. But Game 7, Draymond Green has a masterclass. Let's just show you the box scores in Game 7, and you decide who had the better game. So if the Warriors win the championship in 2016, where does LeBron James rank all time? Would he still be a top 5 player of all time? I think when we're asking that question, we have to remember how important these championships were to LeBron's legacy. First, the Miami Heat one is probably less important than the one with the Cavs, but with the Heat, I think this championship and winning 2 really proves that the Big 3 Heat worked out, and it was a successful stint with the Heat, and it was worth leaving his hometown Cavaliers, which he abandoned them at that time. Well, yes, they didn't win 7 championships.
How about that?
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
But I think the 2 championships showed that it was worth leaving Cleveland for it. And then his second championship, coming back home to Cleveland as an Akron kid, it meant a lot to the Cavs and Cavs fans, especially the way he left Cleveland. The other thing that matters so much about this 2016 championship is the context of it. They came back from 3-1. It's the greatest regular season team of all time. I think it's just clearly the most impactful championship to a player's legacy in the history of the NBA. I think these shots matter a lot to what people's perspective of LeBron James is. Because if these shots don't go in, what would LeBron be known for? Yes, he might be known for his longevity because his longevity is obviously the best in the NBA's history, but he would also be known as a finals loser. I think a lot of people would put him alongside the late great Jerry West, who went 1-8 in the finals. Yes, LeBron would be better at 2-8, but I don't really think that's much of a difference. Instead of LeBron being clearly one of the top 2 best basketball players in the history of the NBA, it would be a big conversation between him, Kobe, Shaq, Magic, Bird, and Duncan now, who has 6 championships. LeBron's 2 championships would really spark a debate between these guys. To me, I think it would be very close between LeBron and any of these guys, because his peak is as high as any of these guys, and his longevity is by far the best in NBA history. The problem is, I think a lot of people are going to view his contributions to winning in a negative light if he only has 2 championships. They're going to think, oh, well, he's just a merchant in the regular season, and he can't win when it matters most. To be fair to LeBron, you can't fully blame him for his 2-8 record in this scenario, because there's a lot of series where he just can't win, like in Cleveland in 07, like when he plays the Warriors, especially with Kevin Durant. And then, yeah, you probably blame him for the Mavs loss and then the 2013 loss in this scenario. But besides that, like, it's not that easy to blame him. What I find so interesting about this scenario is that if you only take away 2 shots over the course of LeBron's career, he goes down as a borderline top 5 player of all time instead of the second or first best player that he is now. It's interesting how others can affect players' legacies as much as it would have if these shots don't go in for LeBron. That's why it's not always fair to mostly value team success over anything else, because sometimes you don't have the control of what others do. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe.